Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here, and I know you want to see this video. This video is about the Alex Murdaugh trial and conviction and sentencing. But before I get started, please check me out on YouTube member programs, check me on Patreon, check my merch out. Please check out Gangster Redemption. Alex Murdaugh's going to go through some of the stuff that's in this book. He's going to go through it. You got to check it out. So also, please check out my cigars. You know I love them. And I really do, guys. You gotta love these cigars. I have to say it. I don't do many commercials, you know that. And I am gonna do that because I love my cigars and I do smoke them. And thank you for your support. Please, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Please check that notification button. And we're gonna get into this video right now. We are gonna get into the Murdaugh case. The Murdaugh case, if you have been living under a rock, that's the only way you don't know about this case. I've had many emails and comments and messages on this case to comment on what I thought of the case and what I thought of the sentencing, and now what do I think is going to happen. Now, let me go right into the case. First of all, Alex Murdaugh was a prominent attorney from South Carolina. Now, his family's been in the law business, even judges, and all the way back 100 years. So his family's pretty much founded that town along with a lot of other people, but they literally had to take a picture of one of the judges off the wall in the courthouse so they don't prejudice a jury. Obviously, whenever you have a high-profile case. Now, why is this case high-profile? You have many double murders. Well, this guy, now we know, he killed his wife and he killed his son, his 54-year-old wife and his, or 52-year-old wife, and his 22-year-old son. He murdered him. Now, it's hard for me to do and look for any kind of compassion or any kind of understanding, because I would go to prison for my son. This guy's a scumbag. He fucking killed his son. Why did he kill his son? You're thinking, what the hell's going on? Well, he killed his son because of money. M-O-N-E-Y, money. The big fucking money. Such a fucking waste of... I'm not supposed to curse. I've been told by YouTube and other people to try to limit myself. So I'm going to try to stay calm. Anyway, let's get into the case itself. Okay, Alex Murdaugh in June of 2021. The murders happened of his son and his wife on their 1,800-acre farm. They had a farm with a house, and they had kennels on this farm as well for dogs. And this 1,800 acres. Does anybody know what 1,800 acres is? That is massive amounts of land. Anyway, he had an 1,800-acre farm, and it was a working farm supposedly, but they had a kennel on it with dogs. Now, Alex Murdaugh claimed that he came upon a scene and he saw his son and his wife dead from wounds he didn't know. He calls 911, and there is video out there. Let me play a little piece of that video.
Okay, did you hear anything, or did you come home and find them?
I've been gone. I just came back.
As you can see, this guy is supposedly distraught. Supposedly, he came upon the bodies. Here is the biggest part of this case. Well, this case became a very high-profile case because, first of all, very rarely do you get a high-profile attorney, one of the biggest attorneys in South Carolina, who is accused then of murdering his son and his wife. You know, the more I think of this case, the more I say, you know, the wife, listen, I'm not being an idiot. I could almost understand the wife. I cannot understand killing your 22-year-old son. I just can't do it. He pappy. He called him all these names in the courtroom and stuff. And I watched this case. Not only did I follow the case, I watched the sentencing that happened today. So that's why I am on this case. You know, there's a few confusing factors. So anyway, Alex Murdaugh claimed as an alibi he wasn't even there. He claimed it right up till game time. And when I call game time is trial time. That's when it all matters. Well, the prosecutor showed a video.
Voices.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth. Damn, Bubba.
Of Alex Murdaugh at the scene of the crime through the kid's cell phone. He did not know his kid took a cell phone video. So Alex Murdaugh then claimed, no, I was confused and I lied because I was on opioids.
Murdaugh blamed his lies on his drug addiction.
You know, oh, what a tangled web we weave. But once I told a lie, and I told my family, I had to keep lying.
Let me tell you something, people. Opioids make you drowsy, make you fucking maybe lethargic. They don't make you want to kill somebody, number one. So you're talking about a man who's on opioids. I don't give a fuck how many opioids he took. I took opioids. I had a bad back. I still have a very, very bad back. I don't take opioids anymore. And I got off them myself. But how does this man claim opioids did it? I had a phone call from a fan today on my podcast. So if you want to go back and look at that, that's The Real Deal with Larry Lawton. It's a podcast. And one of my fans said that I am from South Carolina. I live there. And he had a very bad issue and he could not find one doctor to prescribe him opioids. So either this guy, Murdaugh, was either getting oxycontin, condone pills because he knew people in the area, or he was buying them illegally. Even if he was, who cares? Has zero to do with the case. That was the most little fucking bullshit excuse I ever heard. Alex Murdaugh, obviously, the one son, was killed with double hot buck, a shotgun shell to the chest. Then he put the gun to his head and blew his brains out. His brains were on the floor. That's how gruesome this is. The wife he shot with an AR-15 in the chest, and then went up an execution style in her head. Think what I'm just saying. You want to talk about callous murders? How do you go to sleep with yourself? Listen to me. I grew up in a violent life. I really did. And, you have to have some justification for whatever you do. Whatever you do, even me. I had justifications for what I did. Although it might be skewed and wrong, and mine was. I didn't kill people. I robbed jewelry stores, and I justified it by saying only the insurance companies lost. But I did put trauma on people. And that's wrong, people. That is totally wrong. And I look back at that and I even hate giving my own excuse for that. But that's what happened. Now, I'm going to get into, so Alex Murdaugh goes on trial. All this evidence comes out and he's still claiming his innocence. Well, there was a judge on the case. His name is Clifton Newman. Clifton Newman is 71 years old and he's been in that town for a long time. He came from Cleveland, Ohio, where he did law school and stuff. He's been a judge since 2000. So he's been a judge for 22 years, not 23 years now. Call it 22 years he's been a judge. He's seen some high-profile cases. When a judge comes out and says you're a liar, when a judge comes out and says, they don't do that. He knows this man from social occasions and in front of his court. This man was a prominent attorney in his courtroom. And obviously, the judge is in shock. Let me tell you the biggest thing that really shocked me about this whole case. What shocked me on this whole case, more than anything, knowing South Carolina, and how does Larry know South Carolina? Larry was in prison in South Carolina. Larry was in Edgefield, South Carolina, a prison that was, the land was owned by Strom Thurmond, who was a senator. I'm not going to get into the corruption there. But I'm going to tell you, South Carolina is a tough state. He could have faced the death penalty. Obviously, every state has a little bit difference. But in state of South Carolina, you have to have two bodies, maliciously or brutally killed, or in that crime, a crime of two brutally bodied, two or more. Well, they qualified. There's two people dead. His family. Why wasn't this man at least charged with the death penalty? See, what people don't understand is when you have to qualify a jury, Someone said, well, can't the judge give him the death penalty? No, they can't. The judge has to go along with what the charge was. And here's what I mean by that. To charge a man with the death penalty, you have to have what they call death penalty qualified jury. So what happens is they actually, when they pick a jury, they might get 100 people to come in, 200 people, 300 people. And they have to ask him a series of questions. Are you able to give the death penalty? Do you believe in the death penalty? Do you not believe in it? Because it's ultimately the jury who actually sentences a person to death. Meaning, he can be charged with crime that can constitute the death penalty, and the prosecutor then seeks the death penalty. So they qualify a jury for the death penalty. That doesn't mean he's going to get the death penalty. That means that jury then, after they find him guilty, they go back for another, what they call death penalty hearings. What happens then is they actually get all the extenuating circumstances, things that can't come out in a jury, in a trial. Like, was he abused? Was there extenuating circumstances why this murder happened? Was she having an affair? Was he banging his mother? I'm just giving them the stupidest, craziest shit, because that's what they call extenuating circumstance. Nothing is going to excuse this man of a murder itself. Nothing. Nothing in my mind can justify this man killing his son. Listen to me. I'm a regular person, and killing your wife, I'm not even saying that's right, but I can understand it. I cannot understand killing your son. I really can't. And this man blew his son's brains out, where his brains were on his feet. So this man is the epitome of a psychopath. Why did he do it? Everybody's asking, why did he do it? Well, let me give you a little couple of preamble. This man a year ago, and he was under investigation for stealing $8.5 million from clients, partners. He even stole $295,000 from his brother. This is a real fucking character, this guy. Now, this man is trying to cover up his crimes by, one, getting insurance money, two, diverting attention away from him. Because to this day, this man has 99 charges and 19 indictments that he still has to face. Now, since he was convicted of double murder, and what he was also charged with using a gun in a commission of a felon, which he was found guilty of, but they don't even sentence you for that, which I think South Carolina is right on this end. Why? Why are you going to charge him for? He's already got 2 life sentences, and the judge did those life sentences what they call consecutive, not concurrent. Concurrent means they run together. He is consecutive. That means if you can beat one life, not beat it, I don't know. It's usually for a sentence of 30 years. You do the 30 years, and you do another 30 years. Larry's sentence, my sentence, was 4 12-year sentences run concurrently. That means they're all together, so when I'm done with my 12, I'm done. The reason they run them concurrently is, so if I want an appeal on one of the cases, I still got to do the 12 years. Well, in this case, they didn't even go that way. Well, South Carolina law just dismisses the other 2 charges. They don't care, which I don't blame him. And he's convicted. And he was sentenced to 2 life sentences run consecutively, 1 for each murder. Now, why the state is going to pursue the charges on the fraud and the stealing of money. One case that he stole money was $4 million from a person. He was an accident injury attorney. That should say it all. What are they? Ambulance chasers. Well, they won a case for $4.3 million, and he stole the money. He didn't give any money to the family. None. Well, now, did the law firm know about that? Why didn't the law firm know more about that? Why didn't they investigate their own thefts? And why are they letting this man handle cases under their firm? So the reason they're pursuing these cases, which they should, is they're going to prove that, 1, he did it, 2, that maybe that law firm knew about it, and now the law firm can be held accountable, which they should be held accountable. Obviously, you're not getting anything out of him. He's broke. He's in jail for life. He's never getting out. Right now, he's getting fucked in the ass. That's what's happening to him. And as he should. Now, in this case, with the fraud cases, I think there's going to be more to be held accountable. Murdaugh's trouble started Oh yeah, listen, the guy had some tragedies. About a year before the murders, his son was involved in a boating accident that killed another person, and their family was sued massively and won. Mallory Beach was killed, 19-year-old, in a boating accident by his son Paul Murdaugh. So the family started their tragedy. But he really started going down. He bought too much land in 2007, 2008. He started getting into financial trouble. And what does he do? He keeps fucking stealing from the people that he was representing. That's like the worst crime you can do. They have what they call lawyers have what they call an escrow account. They have to put the money in escrow if you win a case, and then that's how that gets paid out. You know, most bar associations, and all of them, they frown upon that. That is the one trust a lawyer has to have, has your money. Well, I'm sure that trust account had insurance and stuff of that nature, and the bar under what he did. So some people are going to get paid, that's for sure. But he started his troubles then, and I'll tell you what, they haven't stopped. Then, a year after that, he kills the people. He kills his wife and kid, crazy. And then a year after that, he's charged with all these financial crimes. Now, he's got 99 charges pending, as I said, 19 indictments. What's going to happen? He's going to be found guilty, but my view of the case is not what he's going to be found guilty of. It's who else is involved. He had a co-worker named Corey Fleming who perpetuated these crimes with him. Corey Fleming was a partner and attorney. Corey Fleming worked together to steal from this time. Prosecutors said Alex Murdaugh stole $295,000 from his own brother. Well, you know, fuck his brother. It's your brother that stole it. You know, eat that fucking money. I don't know if he's being charged or the brother is being charged, but I can't even imagine. If my brother killed his kid, killed his wife, unless I don't know his wife, so I could care less about that. But as far as the kid, come on, guys, man. We can go crazy and we can talk about anything. But this is how crazy this Murdaugh was in financial debt. He had a friend shoot him in the head. You just heard that correctly. He was shot in the head. The next day, Murdaugh was shot in the head but survived. He testified that he had asked a former client to kill him so that his surviving son, Buster Murdaugh, could collect a $10 million life insurance policy. This guy can't even kill himself. Well, he's got plenty of opportunities to kill himself right now. I'm sure, though, we're going to get out of the case and we're going to know what's happening in America now. Alex Murdaugh was then remanded, which he was already, remanded back to the Department of Corrections for the state of South Carolina. He is going to be under, as he is now, he's going to be under suicide watch for probably a remaining time until he's sent to whatever prison he's eventually going to do his time. How much is this man going to, his appeals? Usually what happens is, once you see a person's appeals finalized, that means everybody gets an appeal of their case in their trial, and they can look at what happened at the trial. And you cannot retry the case. People get that wrong. What you can do is find jury misconduct, what they call voir dire, which is things that happened during the jury selection that were improper, and then they can get a retrial. Happens a lot. I used to get people back into court a lot on that. But in this case, this Judge Clifton Newman crossed his T's and dotted his I's. So I don't see that coming back at all. Judge Newman was a little bit nice, in my opinion, by saying, oh, it wasn't the man that I knew. Maybe it was the opioids. No, it wasn't the opioids, Judge. The guy's a scumbag. Some people are just scumbags. Listen, I never hurt anybody that wasn't in my business. My justification. All I can say is now is you have some kind of justice, but who gets the justice? These kids who believed, the surviving kids who believed their dad was shown in court that this man lied. This man was there at the scene. Now, there's no footage of him putting the bullet in his head, but there's nobody else at the scene. They proved that. And this guy, Murdaugh, after the case, took bloody clothes and brought him to his mother's house. So what does he do? He implicates his family in this shit. Listen, guys, this case is over. It should be. I hope there's no appeals. I don't know how long he's going to live, but I don't think it's going to be long because he's not going to be liked in prison too much. Former attorney, former judge, family judges. He's not going to be liked so much. And believe it or not, people don't take kindly to killing kids, if it's your own kid or not. They just don't. With that said, I hope you make good choices. I hope you like what we're doing. Please check me out on all the platforms we're at. Our podcast, The Real Deal with Larry Lawton, touches on some great subjects. Check that out. Please check out YouTube programs. Check out all our social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We got a lot coming up. Got a big parenting seminar coming up, trying to help parents with their kids. Have a great day, everybody, and please stay safe.